Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I am your host, Matuš Hornik. We are going to taste some minimal intervention Slovak Tokaj wines today. So very interesting stuff. Before we get started, I have to let you know, I have to apologize for the color of my face, the setting, everything. Shireen and I have went through a crazy 3 weeks on the road. We were doing press trips in Sardinia, Hungary, Slovakia, for 2.5, 3 weeks, changing bed every single night, tasting, visiting all these producers. So we actually are whipped and exhausted, and I'm going to try to do my best to get through this. On top of that, I need a haircut. My hair looks like crap, but we're going to get through the video anyway. So we're going to talk about a couple of natural producers, quote unquote, from Slovak Tokaj. Slovak Tokaj, also very controversial area in terms of in the past problems with Hungarian Tokaj, but there is about 10% of Tokaj's area in the Slovak side, and these producers actually aren't quote unquote registered to make quote unquote Tokaj, but they're within the region. These guys are using things like Georgian Quavery. They're making some very interesting, untraditional type wines, and I'm talking about Matuš Vdovjak and Marian Takač. And every time this is the second time we've been to Slovak Tokaj, we always spend some time with them down in the dark, damp cellars of Malatornia. It's always a great time, and the only thing that sucks is they don't like it if we're spitting, so sometimes we have to secretly put it out to the side or drink. So let's get into some of the wines today. I'm going to taste two wines. I have had some of these wines, one of these wines before, the other one I have not, so it's going to be interesting to taste it. These two guys are also making some interesting wines in a group called Tokaj Unplugged, also with a guy named Štefan Hornik. Let me see if I'm getting that right, and Martin Danko. Yeah, that's right. So we tasted some of their wines as well. Also some very interesting minimal intervention wines. These are very small producers. I mean, Vdovjak makes maybe 15,000 bottles. Vinarstvo Koña, which is Marian Takač's wine, makes only about 5,000 bottles. So let's get into some of the wine. And since we're drinking Furmint, I broke out the Furmint glass, the Riedel Furmint glass. Let's get started. I have to juggle here because I don't have a table. First, we're tasting the Vinarstvo Koña, Marian Takač's wine, Furmint, dry, 2015. This is barrel fermented, barrel aged. I have to say before we taste, I have tasted this wine before. It's not my favorite wine from him. My favorite wine are his Amphora series of wines, since he makes in Georgian Quavery. He makes one called 3x3, which has all three Tokaj varieties: Furmint, Lipovina / Harslevelu, that's what it's called, and Muscat Zsolti, which is yellow muscat. Love that wine. He also makes a Furmint Amphora, and this year, Lipovina Amphora that Shireen and I actually are crazy about. Really minimal intervention producer, works hard in the vineyard, does not use sulfur when he bottles his wines. Let's give this a go. Wow. Really yellow color, 2015 Furmint with age. I wasn't expecting this at all. A lot of smoke, just a touch of barrel. Get some apricot, some like white flesh fruit. This is quite complex, and wow, I'm actually pretty impressed. I've been okay with this wine in the past, but right now it's actually showing really, really well. Some lemon, let's give it a go. Pretty darn good and complex Furmint. Around full-bodied, high acidity. I have to say I'm very impressed with this wine right now, how it's showing. I've had it about 3 or 4 times this exact vintage. Right now, and that's the cool thing about wine. And, wine's a score. When you give a wine a score, it's not a static thing because wine changes over time. Right now, I'm about 4.0 out of 5 out of this. And considering the fact that I have a much more expensive dry Tokaj Furmint in the fridge, actually a cult one, that I am enjoying this a heck of a lot more than the other one in the fridge. I think this is pretty darn good. I might even take a little sip of this. I must say 3.9 out of 5. It doesn't have super long finish like I would like, but it's very delicious, very easy to drink. This guy, we actually brought his 3x3 Amphora wine to New York City when we did a tasting with a bunch of sommeliers, a bunch of wine wine people. I mean, that night we were tasting 70s Napa Cab, 70s Bordeaux, some really nice champagnes. And people stopped in their tracks when they tasted his M4. They thought it was delicious because it was a macerated white wine and orange wine, 7 months on the skins, didn't have harsh tannins. Just really beautiful wine. And I think I'm going to congratulate Marian on this Furmint from this vintage. Very nice job. Let's move on. I got to get an opener here. The next, also, I have not tasted this wine yet. This is the Vdovjak. Let me get this out here. This is the Vdovjak Rampash Furmint 2016. This is a Pét-Nat. Pét-Nat, a Pétilance Naturel, what means it's bottled before fermentation stops, so it ferments in the bottle, giving kind of natural bubbles. I'm going to open this, and this could be a disaster on camera because sometimes Pét-Nats explode all over the place, or it might be maybe just, maybe it's not even a big deal. Let's give this a go. Oh, okay, so to open nice and simple, let's give this a... This, Vdovjak, my favorite wines, he also makes a Furmint Amphora, which I adore. He makes some old school sweet Tokajs as well. This is orange in color. It looks like he macerated the grapes on the skins for a little while. Let's give this a go. Almost smells like lemonade, like sparkling lemonade. Little white, like sparkling lemonade with a little bit of green apple and yeast. You know, some people might not like that, especially conventional wine drinkers. Some people, minimal intervention crowd will be used to this. Let's give this a go. Lemonade, kind of like an oxidized bruised apple note. Nice bubbles, bright acidity. You gotta know what you're getting into when you drink these types of wines. Like for me, I do drink some, Shireen and I drink all types of wines. We do drink these wines from time to time. Not the most complex Pét-Nat in the world, but I think it's delicious. For me, very easily 3.8 out of 5. You know, which I thought was better is he actually made a Pét-Nat for himself with Muscat Antonel and Blaufränkisch. He only made a few bottles, and he was actually not going to sell that. I hope he would because I thought that wine was delicious. I thought that wine was in like the 4.1 out of 5 range. I thought it was outstanding. I'll put up the screen even though it doesn't have a label. This is nice. Not the most complex in the world, but a nice juicy drink. Let me give it another go. Fans of this style are going to dig it. Well made for a Pét-Nat. And it's also got the Furmint fiery acidity, so that's where you gotta go. So if you make it to the area, you guys in Slovakia, the only place that you can get these wines are usually in Slovak Tokaj or some specialty shops within Bratislava, or if you're in one of the wine shows around the country, these guys are always there. You're gonna see them. They're always gonna be pouring drinks, having a lot of fun. You should check them out. So thanks a lot. Actually, thanks a lot, Marian and Matuš, for having us again. I always love seeing you guys, and hopefully we'll see you soon. So check them out. Unconventional Tokaj Unplugged. Guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I will see you at the next episode.